Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm back here at Antonio's Event Center in Tacloban City, Philippines. And because I'm in Tacloban, I have access to both fresh seafood and fresh gata. So today I'm going to be sharing my version of Kinilaw sa gata. Let's get started. Okay, so I have all of my ingredients ready. And for my fish of choice, I'm using dorado, or we call this mahi-mahi in the US. I also like my Kinilaw using tuna. You can also use tangigi. Those are my top three, okay? So when I was looking for the fish of choice, the mahi-mahi was the one that spoke to me. So that is what I'm using today. But know that there are always options. Whatever you want is gonna be good. So as you can see, I just cut it into like small and long pieces like this. Because I do want like a big chunk when I eat it. I know that's not traditional. Here in the Philippines, we usually cut it in cubes so that you can spoon it out, but hey, do whatever you want, okay? All right, so I'll show you how I cut it. This is basically just 2 fillets of mahi-mahi. And as you can see, I have all of my ingredients prepped here because I wanna make sure that I don't cross-contaminate when it comes to chopping my vegetables as well as chopping my fish. I know we're still gonna be marinating it in a bowl with some vinegar and some salt, but hey, it's just for my peace of mind, okay? So as you can see, if this is the fillet right here, I'm basically just cutting it like this. That is what I want, okay? So let's go ahead and cut the whole fish just like that. You know what I love about being here in the Philippines is that we do have access to fresh seafood, not only fish, but shrimps and crabs. I've been eating a lot of it while I'm here, as well as fresh calamansi and fresh gata. And it's just not one of those things that you can easily find in the US, you know, the fish. And basically all of the seafood is usually frozen unless you pay, you know, a significant amount of money. Calamansi is not always really easy to find. And gata is usually in a can. So while I'm here, I'm trying to maximize all of these ingredients because I know when I go back to the US, you know, I would not have access to any of these ingredients. So that is why I'm taking this opportunity to show you how I make my kinilaw. Okay, so I have all of my fish here and I'm just gonna put it in a bowl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands and show you the rest of the steps. Okay, so now what we're gonna go ahead and do is that we're gonna go ahead and put all of the fish that I just cut in a larger bowl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some vinegar. So you can use cane vinegar, you can use regular vinegar, but I just really wanna use just plain old white vinegar and salt. And just enough to soak the fish in the vinegar. And I'm also gonna go ahead and add some salt into this. So the reason why I'm adding both, and that's really something that's common, is because vinegar and salt are both flavor enhancers. So you can really taste the fish as well as you can get rid of that fresh sort of fishy flavor that you can get from fresh fish. But the key to actually make good kinilaw is to find the best and the freshest fish that you can find. And that is why kinilaw is just a lot better if you're here in the Philippines because you have access to that. Okay, so while this is marinating in the vinegar and the salt, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the dressing portion of the kinilaw. So I'll set this aside. So in another bowl, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the vinegar. And what I have here is some grated ginger. So, and the rest is basically just a combination of everything that I'm just gonna put that I pre-cut before filming. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of ginger just because this is something that I really like to add in my kinilaw. You don't want to add a lot because this is grated ginger, which is gonna be very, very, very strong. But I feel like it's just needed in kinilaw. And I think not a lot of people add ginger into their kinilaw, but I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. And because this is kinilaw, I don't want to put salt because I want to add patis because patis or fish sauce is just gonna basically enhance the flavors of the fish, right? So that is what you want. So that, as well as a couple of other things. I do want to add a little bit of sugar just to balance the acidity And I'm also gonna be adding calamansi later, so it's just gonna balance all of those flavors out. This is something that's optional. I know not a lot of people add sugar, but really I'm gonna put just a pinch of the sugar in there as well. Okay, and then I also want to add green tomatoes. So these are green tomatoes that I cut and I just removed the seeds. I like this because it gives another depth of flavor, and it's also crunchy because it's green tomatoes. And so I'm gonna go ahead and add that. I'm also gonna add red onions. And what's good about red onions is that it's one of those onions. Well, it's usually the onions to use if you want to eat the onions raw, because it's milder, it's sweeter, and it's actually my favorite onion too. Because it also gives a lot of color. As you can see, the green and the red just goes well together. It just makes your dish a lot brighter. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and add the gata. I just want to add fresh gata in this recipe because it's not one of the things that I have access to as well in the US. And I'm trying to maximize everything that I make with best and quality ingredients that you can only find here in the Philippines. And so I wanted to make kinilaw with gata. And for those who do not know, gata is coconut milk. And this is the freshly squeezed coconut milk that you can find at Talipapa here in the Philippines. So this is something that is optional as well, but I am adding some chilies. And this is basically just Thai chilies, or we just call it harang here in Tacloban. They don't have a specific name for this type of chili. When you say harang here in Tacloban, you are basically talking about just one specific chili, and this is what it is. It's very potent, so I'm just adding 3 pieces, and again, this is optional. I do like spicy food, which is why I'm adding it into this recipe. Right? You don't want to over soak this because I still want a little bit of that crunch. And so with this, I'm gonna go ahead and now add the mahi-mahi that we drenched in the vinegar and the salt. So I don't want to add the juices. I just wanna basically remove as much as possible and transfer that into the mixture or the dressing that we made. All right, there you go. I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a toss. Guys, this looks so good. The last thing that I want to add is some calamansi, just to brighten the whole dish together. Okay. At this point, the only thing you need to do is to taste it. I do want to just grab a little bit of tuna as well as some of the green tomatoes and the red onions, just to make sure we have the seasoning right. Guys, ambot na la guys. Medyo kaayo. It's really, really good. I don't know how to explain it. Wow. Okay, so usually I also serve this with some rice. But if you want to feel a little bit fancy and you want that extra texture, Kinilaw is actually really good with chicharon. So if you want to eat it like me, I'll show you how I eat it. So I have a piece of chicharon, and then I just add a little bit of the fish, as well as the red onions and the green tomatoes, and voila. Add a little bit of the chives on top, and that is my bite. Guys. Okay, that was even better than the first bite. I'm not gonna lie, that was really good. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plate this dish. And to this, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the dressing with the gata at the middle of the plate. There you are. And then I'm gonna go ahead and basically just arrange the tuna at the side. Okay, so and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the red onions as well as the green tomatoes at the center of the dish. And then we top it off with some green onions. And there you go. That is how I would plate my kinilaw. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, click the subscribe button, like this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And if you like more recipes just like this, you can watch them right over here. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!